There's trouble ahead in the property market. I'm Jason Samuels, partner at BKL, and I'm joined today by my fellow partner, Jake Lew, head of property and construction, to talk about these challenges and what you can do about it. Jake, there's an awful lot of headwind affecting property businesses nowadays. What do you see as the key challenges?
I think there's a lot of economic uncertainty in the sector at the moment. Interest rates are high, cost of capital, cost of labour, cost of materials is high. There's a lack of labour due to Brexit that's still filtering through into the market. We're seeing lots of delays in planning, which is impacting companies' cash flows and costs. So planning is taking much longer than previously, and that's leading to knock-on effects on free cash flow for companies. We're also seeing squeeze on margins, which is impacting profits on projects that companies are undertaking.
That's really interesting. So what are the key stakeholders doing in order to keep the market moving and make sure that properties are being built and trade is happening?
So there was an emergency planning reform in October 2025 that gives greater power to the government and London Mayor in particular, but other local boroughs, to push through larger development projects. The government made a commitment to build 1.5 million new homes when they came into power, and the reality is they are behind that at the moment, partly because local councils have their own planning restraints, planning requirements, and it's different for each council. What they've done is they have added in an affordable housing element that was previously set at a 35% benchmark. It's now been reduced down to 20%. So when you build a big project, you need to commit to providing a certain amount of affordable housing for tenants or for local people in the local community. There's also a community infrastructure levy that is paid that is called a SIL payment that is payable when you put the first spade in the ground. They've reduced the amount of that by 50%. So that will improve margins for developers. It will make developments more likely to be financially viable. At the moment, there are elements that make certain projects less viable, partly because of the cost of finance, partly because of the cost of capital. And so this should help with that. Any residential developments over 50 units, the London Mayor now also has specific powers to push through certain projects that meet relevant criteria.
In terms of our activity and involvement with our current and future conversations we're having with other operators in the market, what are we doing and what can we do to help businesses get through what are these very difficult and uncertain times?
I think ensuring their structure is right at the outset of any project, so ensuring they're structured correctly from a tax perspective, from a finance perspective. As discussed previously, there are squeezing of margins and excess costs, and so streamlining businesses from a finance perspective, from an operational perspective is key. We're able to go in and offer services to help with that. From a tax structuring perspective, we're advising lots of clients on optimal structures, with the reality that it depends if you're holding projects or property for a long term or short term, and that impacts how we're structuring the schemes that our clients are undertaking. Seeing a lot of HMRC investigations, much more than there have been previously, especially in relation to property related companies. And so we're helping there to ensure that compliance is carried out properly with regards to reporting, with regards to accounting standards, and ensuring our clients are correctly treating VAT where relevant, CIS where relevant, so all property related taxes that need to be considered.
Jake, you joined BKL in May 23. How have you found that and how it's helped you, your practice and your clients?
I had a smaller firm than the size of BKL, and I needed the expertise and resource that, especially from a tax perspective, that BKL had. So I now have specific property tax experts, I have VAT experts, I have CIS experts. We're able to offer capital allowances advice and help for clients who often aren't aware that they're able to claim capital allowances on buildings that leads to tax relief for them and tax savings. So BKL tax team is incredibly strong, incredibly impressive, and I've really leveraged off that for the benefit of my clients.
Thanks, Jake. Certainly sounds like it's a very challenging time in the property market at the moment, but with the right guidance, there is certainly opportunity still to be had. If anything we've spoken about today resonates with you, please feel free to reach out to either Jake or myself, and we'll be happy to chat.